CEO, wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder. I can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black on too.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and I am here tonight to talk to you about some investment opportunities. So the reason why I decided to talk tonight about stock is because I was looking at my stock portfolio. And I was, I had some money from some margin calls, and I said, you know what are some good stock to invest in? So I'm looking at some good, I'm doing my research and looking at some stock. And I said, this is a good conversation for me to have with my friends and my family online. So that's the reason why I came on here. I'm here to have a conversation, a dialogue, and not a monologue. As you know, I always love feedback. So I love for you to talk back to me and talk black to me. But I always come on here so that I could try to give you something of value, and everything I know, I just want to share it with you. So that's the reason why that's the reason why I'm here tonight. That's why I want to just have this conversation with you. So as you come in, I know we have people that tune in from all over the world. So put in the comments box where you're watching from, because I want to shout you out. Mr. Bernard, thank you. I see you over there, Bernard. You always be spamming my page in my DMs. What's up, Mr. Bernard? So let's talk about it. I'm going to get right into it, but make sure, first, before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. Okay. And then also make sure you subscribe to CC the CEO on my YouTube channel, because I don't get as much love as the Fly Nubian Queen, but we are building this channel out. And so I definitely want to just reach out as many people as possible. Also, if you can, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, but I also want you to share this information to your people, because this is good information to have. One of the reasons why the wealth gap is so far apart is because a lot of times we don't diversify our portfolio. I don't know if you know, and I'm talking to everybody. I'm not just talking to Black folks, but, Black people, you are my people, and you are the underserved people, and you're the people, you're my audience that I love to talk to, because, we need the most help, just because historically we've been left behind in so many different ways and places. But I don't know if you know, but during the pandemic, Black growth was far exceeded every other group in this country, which is great. And so it's on par with what I said in my TED Talk when Google that shit, when I talked about ways to close the wealth gap, because there was an article, a Forbes article in 2017 that said by the year 2053, Black median wealth was going to be at a zero. Now, I went to church last Saturday to hear T.D. Jakes speak. He was at a church here in Maryland at First Baptist of Glenarden, which is a super duper mega church that I go to on occasions. I like to go there, and but he comes out every year and he does a revival. But he did a leadership kind of a business. He does a business thing on Saturdays that I went to. And he told the very thing that I talk about all the time about the year 2053. They said Black median wealth was going to be a zero, and everybody gasped. And I'm like, y'all ain't look at Constance Carter's TED Talk. Google that shit. That's what I talk about. So it was good confirmation, and it was right on par with the things that I teach, and I'm teaching all the time, because this is extremely important to our people, is the fact that, we've been behind, and there are a number of reasons that we've been behind, but look at us, we're growing. And even with all the inequities, and even with all the things that have been thrown our way, we still are here, and yet we still rise. So congratulate yourself, give yourself a pat on the back. But one of the reasons why the wealth gap is so wide is because we don't diversify our portfolio. When we do invest, we invest in real estate. We're, as a people, as Black folks, we are scared. We think it's gambling. And but you won't gamble in the stock market, but you will gamble at the casinos, because it's a large amount of y'all that be at them damn casinos, and y'all be betting y'all last pennies and y'all last dollars at the casino, but you're afraid to invest in something that's going to yield you a significant return. It may not be an instant instant return like at the casino, but it is a return. I recall one day I was talking to a bunch of gentlemen at this group called Fathers and Families in Stockton. And it was a group of like ex-offenders. It was a lot of young Black and Hispanic men that just come out of prison. And so they would have, it was a nonprofit that spoke to the you know, these young people. And actually the age range was anywhere between like maybe 17, 18 to in their 30s. And I was just telling them about, you know, how you could start investing in stock. And I remember this one young man, he had to be about 18, 19 years old. And he like his eyes lit up and he said, "You mean to tell me I could make more money in the stock game than I can in the dice game?" And I say, "Yes, young brother, you can make more money in the stock game than in the dice game." So I went on just to kind of give, you know, some tips that I want to just share with you tonight. And so it's really important now we understand how this thing works, because I think there are just some basic things that you just really need to just tap into. A lot of people don't even know what a stock is. Like, what is a stock? You hear about stock. What is a stock? Well, stock is a share, is a piece of a company. It's an ownership. So when you buy a share of Microsoft stock, you own a piece of Microsoft. So depending on what your stock portfolio is, you can own a little bit of Microsoft, you can own a little bit of Tesla, you could own all of these different companies. You own a portion of that company. You are the owner. And so when companies make certain decisions, especially financial decisions, they do it for the benefit of their shareholders, which you are a shareholder. And what a share is a single piece of the ownership. So if you own one share of that company stock, if they have 1 million shares, you own one share of the 1 million shares. I mean, it's not like you own a big piece, but you own a percentage or a share of that company. Okay. And some companies pay out in dividends. Now, what a dividend is a portion of the company's earnings that they pay you they pay to their shareholders. So you can get paid by dividend. And so certain stock that I have, it pays to be dividends quarterly. It could be quarterly, it could be annually, but you'll get a dividend. Okay. So let's talk about the different types of market. You may hear like a bull market or a bear market. Those are two very different markets. A bull market is a market where the stock price is going crazy. You know, it's very optimistic. You know, people are making money. It's doing really great. There's confidence in the buying power. That's a bull market. Okay, so when you hear people talking about a bull market, that's what a bull market is. The stocks, you know, they're rallying at the stock market. You see them ringing a bell, everybody's happy. That's when it's a bull market. Then you have a bear market, which is complete opposite of a bull market. Is, you know, things have dropped and there's a lot of pessimism in the stock market, and so you see stock prices drop. Typically, though, for me, I like to buy in a bear market and rather than a bull market. Warren Buffett is one of the most famous stock traders, and he's made billions. He's a billionaire, and he's a billionaire through, you know, the stock market. And one of the things he says is, you buy when everybody's selling, and you sell when everybody's buying. You don't buy when everybody's buying. And that's even with real estate. That's with everything. You want to get a good deal. And the thing about the stock market, though, you guys, is that anything can change it. So if there's an opinion on something, and the news, and it goes crazy in the news, people start dumping their stock and dumping their stock, and it affects the entire market. But it's basically the opinion of a lot of the investors or the consumers. But if you are a savvy investor, and that's obviously where you want to get ultimately, is to become a savvy investor. You don't want to just listen to everything that's going on in the market, but you do want to pay attention, or on the news and the media, but you do want to pay attention, because those are times when you can get the best deals. Okay. What's a portfolio? A portfolio it's a collection of your investments. And so when they talk about diversifying your portfolio, that means you just don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to have a little bit over here. You want to have a little bit over here. You want to have a little bit over there. And that's why when you have all your eggs in one basket, and if something happens, and I believe in this with job or with revenue streams, because the Bible says have 7, and then it said no 8 investments in case a disaster strikes. So you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to be relying on one source of income. You don't want to be just singularly focused. You want to focus on multiple things. So you want to have different things. You want to have your money in different things. So if I look at my portfolio, it's a variety of investments. I invest in things that I use, regular things. So you're going to see, maybe some Sony. You're going to see some Nike. I invest in healthcare. I invest in AI. I invest in cryptocurrency, and my crypto, I think, is probably right now doing the best. That's made me the most money, but it's where I put most of my investment in as well. But the more money that you put in there, and I remember Dr. Boyce Watkins, he was like, yo, get you some Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is low right now. And I made a good amount of money on cryptocurrency. I'm just trying to look at my portfolio to see. So I have a few things. I have more of my portfolio was up than down. And so, but it just depends. So, I got some AI stuff. I was just reading, because again, I want to invest in different things. I have some money just sitting in my portfolio in Robinhood, and I was just looking at, okay, what should I invest in? And so, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So when we talk about the market volatility, that refers to, huge fluctuation in stock prices. So when it's volatile, you experience like swings in the market. And day trading is one of those things that have really volatile returns. So when I started day trading, you can make a lot of money, or you can make a very little money. You can lose a lot of money, and that's really like gambling. But it's an educated gamble, because you're not just rolling the dice. What you are doing is you're looking at that company, you're looking at the value, you're looking at what's been going on with the company, you're looking at if there's if they're doing layoffs, you're looking at all of those different things. And with day trading, you can basically take a pick whether it's going to go up their value or it's going to go down. And based upon what you picked, you get paid, or you could split it. So day trading, I've seen when the market opens at 6 o'clock in the morning over in California, that's when I was doing a lot of day trading. And, you just waiting, and then you just see it just shoot up there. So you could have, you put $1,000 in, and by the, 12 o'clock, you could have 12,000, or you could have 8,000. By 12 o'clock, you could have went up, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 12,000, and then came all the way back to 3,000, or have lost $1,000. It just depends. I mean, it's just crazy, and it's volatile, and it gives you a rush, and you can make a lot of money. Again, you could lose a lot of money. It is not for your rookie investor. Okay. So when you're looking at a return, an ROI is a return on your investment. And that's basically the measurement of your profit of the investment. How much are you getting back? It's the amount you calculate. So if I put in 10, I'll make, and then my value of my stock is now 12,000. I've made my ROI is $2,000. So I have my initial investment, which is 10,000. I made 2,000. So now it's worth 12,000. So my ROI is $2,000. That makes sense. Okay. So those are basic. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I wanted to give you basic concepts around what stock is. Okay. So now let's talk about some of the benefits of investing in stock. So there's tons of benefits. So the one of the benefits is, you have a potential for a high return, depending on what you invest in. Again, that goes with research. Okay. I don't want you just investing all willy-nilly. I don't want you investing all willy-nilly, just buying stuff just to be buying stuff. And if you do that, if you're testing the market, you don't want to put a whole lot of money in there, but do little by little. You want to do some safe and smart investing. Okay. So that potential for you to get a return on investment is it could be great. But here's the thing about stock, and this is what I got to tell my kids, because all of my kids now, they invest in one way or another, right? So Cash App has an investment mechanism on there. So my kids is always asking for money. And one of the things that my kids do, they're really cute. So we have a whole fam group chat with my mom, dad, brother, sister, and all of my kids. And so one of the things they'll do is they'll be like, hey, mom, which is my mom. Hey, mom, can you give me $25 so I can invest in stock? So they'll get the $25 and they'll take $5 and they'll invest it in stock. Little slick rascals. So, but one of the things that they do when they invest is if they start losing, they invest that $5 in something. They're like, Mom, I only have $4.84 now. It's losing money. I'm going to sell it. No. Stock is a long-term game. I was actually just talking to one of my boys, and he was looking at my cryptocurrency, and he was like, "Oh, you making all this money? You need to sell." And I'm like, "I'm not going to sell. I'm gonna just, let me wait and see what it does, because it goes up and then it might dip, and it goes up and it might dip and it might go, So you just got to kind of watch the market, hear what's going on in the news. Make sure you're reading and keeping your ear to the ground, because you can do very, very, very well when you're, but it just takes a little bit of research. Watch CNBC, listen to what they're saying. They're giving you, it's like you're taking a test and they're giving you the answers to the test right there. You're just too afraid to take that step to start investing. Another benefit is, of course, the ownership that you have in the company. That just like I said, you have the good thing about stock is the access to the capital. You have this liquidity that you have. So if I want to sell some of my stock, right, if I can get the money right away, so I can sell it and then I'll get the money. So it's not like it's tied up in a vehicle like an IRA. If you want to take out your IRA, you got to go through hoops, and then you got to pay, all this money in taxes and all that stuff. So you really don't have those hurdles that you got to cross when you're investing in stock. Okay. But when you're looking at it, I want you to look at it as a long-term investment. Don't look at it as anything that's short, because you got to think about, where was Google 5 or 6 years ago? Where was Amazon 5 or 6 years ago? Had you invested in Amazon at its infancy stages, you may have been a millionaire. If you had invested, a few $1,000s, you might be a millionaire today if you would have kept it in there and just not even worried about it. So think about it as a long-term play, and don't look at it as something, you're trying to get back relatively quickly, because, that's more of the day trading. But when you're looking at buying shares and investing in companies, even if the companies go up and down, stock market is cyclical, much like real estate. So that's what you have to consider when you're investing in stock. Okay. Holla if you hear me. So do you hear what I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Talk back to me. I want to know if what I'm telling you, and Bernard, you are really spamming me in French. That's crazy right now. I'm going to show y'all. Bernard is like super duper spamming me. Hey, Bernard, I'm going to just, brother, stay in my inbox, stay in my DM, stay all over my stuff. But okay. Thank you, Empress. I appreciate You know what? I appreciate you rocking with me, because you be rocking with me on a daily. So I appreciate you, Miss Empress. Thank you so much. But again, this is really an effort to, just give the knowledge and information. I'm just trying to give you everything that I have, because I want you to learn, what it is, the things that I do. And I may not have as much money as a whole lot of these gurus out here, but I do diversify my portfolio, and I do make sure that my money is in different places. And so I've shared some of my strategies, my wealth strategies, with you. Stock is not my biggest investment, but it is an investment. So if I need to snatch some money over there, I snatch some money over there. If I need to pull some money from another vehicle, I have money from another vehicle. So all of these things together, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. Okay. I'm reading the B. What's the B? The biggest thing though is, when we're investing in stock, I want to make sure that before you start, you make clear goals on what your goals are. Again, look at it as a long-term investment. So if you can invest $50 a month. So right now, what I and I'll tell you about the, Robinhood is what the one I use, but I have, I think, I don't know, $100, $250, I don't know, but I have a reoccurring deposit going in every single month. And it actually goes into my crypto. I didn't even know it went in my crypto. I totally forgot. I be doing stuff mostly in the middle of the night, but I'd be like, oh, you know what? I should do, it's part of my ADD. Oh, let me do a reoccurring thing. So I knew I had money reoccurring in there, and I thought it was just going into like the Robinhood bank, but it actually goes into my crypto, which is good. I'm glad it does. So, but I set up some kind of reoccurring deposit into your stock investment account, because that actually will get you in the habit of you investing. So think about it, make a plan of how much you want to invest. If it's $25, if it's $50, if it's $200 or $500, just make sure that you have a goal in mind that you want to start investing. Okay, so set clear goals. The second thing I want you to do is I want to make sure that you educate yourself. Again, you have the answers. This is like an open book test. They give you the answers. So go on CNB. I'm going to give you the websites and the places to go, but go on these sites. They tell you what you should be investing in. That's what I was just doing. And that's why I said I'm going to go live here tonight to help you and teach you and tell you to do the same thing, because it's money out there. But don't look at that money. Number one rule to investing: don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose. I'm going to tell you one more again. Don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose, because an investment is a risk, and there is a possibility that you will lose your money. There's also a possibility that you will gain your money. So when you invest, don't invest your last. Don't be like them people at the casinos who put their house up or put their car up and then they didn't lost everything and then they homeless and carless. Don't do that. Invest only what you are willing to lose, and whatever you get back should be gravy. Okay. But make smart investments. You don't want to invest this in anything. Make smart investments. All right. So make sure you establish an emergency fund. So this is important to have because it will cover 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. So I don't want you to be investing your living expenses into your stock portfolio. You need to have your stock portfolio to the side, because what if you put your living expenses in there and then you lose it? And then the market is a bear market. Everything is bad. Okay. No, it's going to come back, but you just never know. People, during the Great Depression, people lost their fortunes. And, you remember people were committing suicide and all that. And that also happened during the Great Recession. When your portfolio isn't diversified, then you risk losing everything. So just make sure that you create, you have your emergency fund, that this is not anything that's taken away from your personal ability to live. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to open up an investment account. There is Ameritrade, there's E-Trade, there is Schwab, there's Robinhood, there's Webull. You can open up any of these accounts. Some are comprehensive, some are more comprehensive than others. They've all grown over the years, but some are a little bit more advanced. Some, people think that you need a stockbroker in order to invest in stock. You do not. You do not have to pay a third party in order to invest your stock for you. However, the benefit of having a stockbroker is they can kind of help guide you and tell you what you need to invest in. But as a rookie investor, and if you ain't nobody messing with you for $50, so you can really open up one of these apps and you can start investing. In Ameritrade, they have I forget what it's called, and that's an app that they do for people who are trying to day trade, who are practicing day trading. They're allowing you to use your fake funny money to do day trading, to kind of see what would happen if you were to invest in the day trade. You're not really investing your own money. Ameritrade does that. I forget what it's called, but they do that. So if you figured that you want to start day trading, you can do that. And then, it kind of gives you an idea, and it kind of gives you practice on what you should do and how you should approach your day trading. Okay. So open an account with any one of these brokerage accounts. I use Robinhood, and I've told you, if you've listened to me before, I use Robinhood because of its comprehensiveness to be able to navigate. Simplicity is key for me. It shows, it's very easy. Now, I used to have Ameritrade, and I probably still have some money. I got to go look at my Ameritrade account. Go look at my Ameritrade account. I'm sure I got some money over there. I may got a few $1,000 in Ameritrade account. But my Ameritrade account it was easy too because my son, when he was 12, he was actually investing. That's when I gave him $1,000, and he took that $1,000 and he made $8,000. But it took him about 2 years to make it. And then back in 2020, during the pandemic, he took my $7,000 portfolio and he made 40,000. But he did that in 3 months. So these are things, and that $8,000 portfolio that he made from Ameritrade, I think I lost most of it trying to day trade, y'all. Whoo, that day trading, boy. But at that high, whoo, I remember when I was at work and I had first started, I was at the office, and my assistant, Glenda, when that money was getting high, she's like, sell it, sell it, sell it. I was like, no, I was getting greedy. No, I'm not going to sell it. No, no, no. It's going to get higher, higher, higher. And then by the end of the day, it was like, phew, went all the way down. But it was, just that adrenaline that you get when you are making the money from day trading. It was pretty dope. So open up your investment account. And then you have to really determine what your risk tolerance is. Are you a high risk investor? Are you a medium risk investor? Are you a low risk investor? Most people, when they're starting out, they're low risk investors, and that's okay. Like I do too much. I'm team do too much. So sometimes, I remember one time, speaking of team do too much, years ago, it had to be about 20 something years ago at this point, but I was working at Attn. And one of the guys that would work with us, he was a pilot, and he used to teach people how to fly planes. And so I was like, oh yeah, I want you to teach me. And so, I went with him to the airport that he flew from, and he allowed me to fly the plane myself. And as I was up in this air, because I'm so damn prideful, I went ahead and flew the plane, but I prayed the entire time, and I was cursing myself out while singing Amazing Grace and praying all at the same time. Cause I was like, you are team do too much. You ain't got no god dang on business up here flying this man plane. And then I'm holding on for dear life, and I'm holding this thing up. And then he was like, okay, Constance, you're good. Relax. But if every time I let it go, we was going down. He forgot to, I don't even know what that thing is called, but he forgot to release the lever to make it easy for you to fly. So I'm holding the plane up all by myself. You just thought I'd throw that in. Team do too much. The first time I should have just flew in the passenger seat. My ass got in the pilot seat. Team do too much. And I, luckily, obviously I made it, but I was just like, girl, you just always used to be doing way too much. So let's talk about some stock websites. I kept bringing up CNBC because you listen to CNBC enough. If you listen to all these guys that are online that are charging you a bunch of money to teach you how to invest in stock, they're just getting their information from CNBC. They're getting their information from Yahoo Finance. They're getting their information from Google Finance. They are getting their information from Bloomberg. Okay, so you have a test. These are the answers to your test. Market Watch is another good one. Okay. So stock websites, I'm going to give them to you again. These are the places that you want to go to get tips on which stock to invest. Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, CNBC, Bloomberg, and Market Watch. Those are the places that you want to go if you want to get some stock tips. So I'm not going to give them to you. I'm not going to tell you my favorite stock. I'm not even going to tell you what I invest in outside of the cryptocurrency that I invest in. I'm telling you, I want to teach you to fish. And so I want you to stop going to these people saying, hey, what should I invest in? What should I invest in? And I want you to study it for yourself, because you need to become familiar with the process so that you can start investing in stock. Remember, stock is a long-term game. You may win some, you might lose some, but the whole purpose is diversifying your portfolio so that you can have your money in different baskets. You don't want to have it all in one basket. There was a time where I used to keep a lot of money in a safe. And I was just talking to one of the ladies that I coach, right? And she has a bunch of money. I think she said she had, shout out if you watching this, I ain't gonna say who you are. She said she had $120,000 in her bank. And I had that much in my safe at one time. And I was telling her, and I don't keep it in my safe now, so don't try to come over here and rob me. I don't got no money in my safe. But I said, my money, was doing the exact same thing. My money in my safe was doing the exact same thing as your money was doing in the bank. Absolutely nothing. It was doing absolutely nothing. It was good. I used to, I would look, because I had it was a small safe, right? And so I would go in there and the money is just, it's just, I punch it in there. And so it was nice to look at sometimes. I have a little money counter. Sometimes I go in there and just count the money, right? But it did absolutely nothing in that safe. Why the hell do I have this money in my safe? So for years, I never even paid attention or ever even thought about it being in there, but it did nothing. My money didn't work for me in the safe as it doesn't work for you in the bank. Put your money somewhere where it's going to work. So some other investment things that I do outside of investing in stock. Acorns is also a good one because it invests your money for you. If you've ever heard me talk about it, Acorns, they take the money, they take your change. So if you buy something for $9.50, they take the 50 cents, they put it in an account for you and they invest it for you. They invest it typically in ETFs, which are fractional stock. So, and speaking of ETFs, you can actually buy fractional stock. So if AT&T is $500, you don't have to buy the whole share. You could buy a fraction of the share. You could buy $50 of that AT&T stock and you'll get the portion. Your return on investment, your ROI, is going to be the percentage of that share that you purchased. So you don't have to have the money to buy the whole share. So understand that. So even Bitcoin being at $50,000 now, I think, and I bought at 30,000. You don't have to buy 30,000. You just buy, you could buy a portion. You could buy, you could buy 5,000. I don't know what the minimum. You could probably buy a $50 worth of Bitcoin. And as it's going up, of course, your ROI is not going to be the same as mine. It's going to be a percentage of the amount that you've bought. Okay, so Bitcoin is at 46,000 right now. And I think I bought it at like maybe 30. So, but so you don't have to buy the entire share or the entire coin. You can buy a fraction of the stock. So Acorns is another way that you can just, that's an entry level way that I believe that it'll just take the money for you so that it's a no brainer. Okay. Another thing that I do is I have money in a permanent life insurance policy. So I own a dispensary. So one of the things I do is I own a dispensary. And I get a dividend quarterly. The dividend that I get, I put it into a permanent life insurance policy, which is basically my own bank. It's called Infinite Banking. And what I do is I put it inside this Infinite Banking bank inside of a trust. So I essentially created a trust fund for my children. And so they get a life benefit and they get a death benefit. So when I die, because I will die, you're going to die too. If you didn't know, by the way, you're going to die. So when I die, they'll get whatever the value of the life insurance policy plus the money that I've put in there, which generates compounded interest, which, by the way, Einstein calls the eighth wonder of the world. Also, Ray Kroc of McDonald's. That's how he generated a lot of his wealth. The Rockefellers, that's how they generated a lot of their wealth. So a lot of these ultra wealthy people, they use compounded interest. And so when you have a permanent life insurance policy, a lot of those people who have 401ks that lost thousands and hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars in their 401k back in 2009, if you had a permanent life insurance policy, you wouldn't have lost that if you had your money. And so I'm telling people, if you have a 401k and your employer matches, that's great. If you could pull it out, put it in something that's going to yield you compound interest that you're not going to lose your money on. So that's another investment strategy that I have. So again, it's just different ways for you to diversify your portfolio so you don't have all your eggs in one basket. And it doesn't have to be a huge amount. I mean, you could do this with a very minimal. And if you want to do the life insurance policy, I have someone that can help you with the life insurance policy. Her name is Brandy. Brandy is actually in Maryland, and I met her last year. But Brandy is a really super dope, highly educated, and knows her shit. And she actually owns the largest Black-owned insurance company in the nation, and she has this dope office over in the National Harbor, looking over the ocean. It's beautiful, over the Potomac River. It's not the ocean, over the Potomac River, but she knows her stuff, and so she's a partner that I partner with, and I always, when I want to take care of my people, I refer them to Brandy. So she's been really great. Oh, and if you want to open up your Robinhood account, Robinhood will give you some shares. Let me give you my link to Robinhood. That way you can get some free shares by signing up for your Robinhood account. And that should actually help you start on your way. Let me give you these. Let me get a link to the Robinhood account. Boom. Oh, you get to pick your own gift stock. So so this, let me go back. This is Brandy Bridget. Click on this link, schedule an appointment with her so that you can get your you can set up your infinite banking. I don't care how much money that you have. If you have a little bit of money in your 401k, or if you have a little bit of money set aside, you got a little bit of money in your bank account, get your money out the bank and have it generating compound interest. So let me just break it down really quick how that works. So say you put $20,000 into your policy, and it's generating compound interest, right? And you want to take out $8,000. So you could borrow, it's your money. So you're borrowing from yourself. It's your own bank. You're giving yourself a loan, and you can pay it back if you want to, but it's still paying you interest on the $10,000, even though you've taken out $8,000, you only have $2,000 left. It's paying you interest based upon the $10,000. Okay. So you got that. So that's definitely something that you, an avenue that you want to do. Do your Acorns, or do your Robinhood. So here is the link for the Robinhood. I'm gonna just put the link only. That way you can just click on the link that's on the screen. Boom, that's the link for Robinhood. And then let me give you the link for Acorns too. Start that. I think they give you like $5 or something like that if you want to start your Acorns account. But definitely, I was talking to my boy yesterday, my boy Damian Mathis. Shout out to Damian Mathis. He was like, he called me because he was listening to my podcast, and we were talking about relationships or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, by the way, good looking out on that Acorns thing. Yeah. That's helping me out. And I said, okay, that's what's up. So for those of you who have gotten this in the past and they've gotten their Acorns, it's a great investment. It's a great start to you starting your portfolio. So here's the link for the Acorns as well. So use these links, and wherever you're watching from, you should be able to get access to these links. And if you're on my YouTube page, and if you're not watching this live and you're watching this later from my YouTube page, I'll go ahead and put the links on my YouTube page, and I'll pin them up to the top so that you can have access to all of these links. But these are going to be muy importante for you to at least start. So this is going to give you a start to your investing. So this is, for me, this is what this is about. I just want to help you to be able to grow your money in any way possible. And like I said in the beginning, I came on here because I actually have some extra money in my portfolio. I got $2,000 or $3,000, and I was looking for stock to invest in. So I'm doing my research in the way that I'm telling you to do your research. I was looking on these websites, the ones that I share with you, Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, CNBC. I'm looking on all these places to see what stock I should buy. And I say, you know what? Let me go live and tell my friends, how they can start. And if you're just tuning in, because I see a ton of people coming in, if you're just tuning in, make sure you go back and watch this, because I not only tell you, I tell you about the basics of stuff, because I really wanted to just get you in on the basics. I really want to just get you in just so you could just get a little bit of knowledge so that you could start. And then you build from there. I don't like talking over people's heads. I think that there's people like to sound sophisticated. They like to sound smart and all that stuff. I talk to regular people. I'm a regular person. I talk to regular people, but I want to empower regular people to take massive action, because That's the way that we're going to close this wealth gap. And that's why I'm also asking you to share this with all your friends and family and people that you love and people that you know. So take a moment right now to share this, because I don't want to be rich by myself. I know you don't want to be rich by yourself. I know you want to get up and go on vacations. I do. When I was married, I did 10 vacations a year. Right now I probably do somewhere around 5 vacations a year. And most of the vacations, like I'm doing the, shoot, it's hot. I'm doing the Maxwell cruise next month. Anybody going on the Maxwell cruise? I'm going by myself, y'all. Oh my God. And I was told, not it wasn't told, I was looking online. I was looking on Facebook, and they said, oh, somebody said, oh, this is a cruise for lovers, because it's like the 9th through the 14th of February. And I was like, God damn it. I'm going on a damn Valentine's cruise with my single ass and a bunch of couples, but it's gonna be a good time. The reason why I said that is because you want to get up and go on vacations when the hell you want to. You don't want to be not being able to have that option. And that's another thing for me too. When I was talking to my boy Damien yesterday, again we were talking about dating, and he said, "Does a person that you date have to have a lot of money?" And I said, "No." And I'm gonna tell you my business real quick. I said, no, they don't have to have a lot of money, because I figure at this stage, we probably already going to be wherever we going to be in life. He going to, my money going to my kids, his money probably going to go to his kids. They do need to have the ability to get up and go. They have to have the ability. So if that means you got money, then that means you got money. He said, well, if they got a job, I said, then they got to have PTO. But if we say, like my girl asked me last month, hey, Constance, you want to go to Turks and Caicos next week? And I was like, bet, let's go to Turks and Caicos next week. Just have that kind of spontaneity to be able to get up and go when we want to go. That's pretty much it. I don't care about nobody's money. I don't talk about nobody's money, but having the ability to get up and go and, live like we want to live, that's important. So I know that you want to do that. So share this with the people so that they can build their portfolio, so that you can get up and be able to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, be where you want to be, see what you want to see. This is all for you. And the other thing I want to tell you is that I have the GYM, the Grow Your Money program, which is a program that I do, and my goal is to help 1,000 people. So I know there's hundreds of people on here watching right now. And so if you know somebody that is interested in growing their money, I have trainings. I have a private membership program. I have a private membership portal where I'm helping people to grow their money in many different ways. So I have all these trainings that I have on my site that were thousands of dollars. I now have them available. You have access to all of them. There are thousands. Some of them were hundreds of dollars. Some of them were thousands of dollars each. You now have access to join my membership for only $47 per month. And I'm dropping game. I have 8 or 10 trainings on there right now. This month, I'm dropping the how to write and publish your best-selling book. I have several best-selling books, and I did them all by myself. They were trial and error, y'all. So let me just tell you, I never had a desire to be an author. Never, ever, ever. Never thought about being an author. And one time one of my girlfriends came into my office, and she was like, you should write a book on credit, because I was really passionate about credit. And I was like, I should. Listen, I'm not the big ideation person, and I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I just do what people tell me to do. And that's kind of been the secret to my success, right? People say, hey, Constance, you should do this. And I'm like, okay. A few years ago, we were doing this show called Conversation Starters, where we were interviewing celebrities. My co-host was like, hey, we should do a show where we interview celebrities. I'm like, bet, let's do it. And we had we interviewed over 30 different celebrities, and I became good friends with a lot of them. And it was just by somebody had an idea. They said, hey, Constance, we should. And then we just do it. And then it happens. Same thing that could happen to you. I'm just an executor. And there's a saying that the idea doesn't belong to he who thinks it. Because a lot of you guys have these great ideas that y'all just thinking ideas and, oh, this is $1 million idea. This is $1 million idea. I don't have those. People give me $1 million ideas. I pay my coaches a lot of money to give me great ideas. I'm an executor. A lot of you are the ideation person, but you need to become an executor. So in the Grow Your Money Club, I have training that will teach you different skill sets. We're going to teach you how to brand your business. We have the business blueprint training to teach you how to set up your entity to get it funded. We have the real estate for rookies to show you how to start investing. Over 30 lessons about different real estate strategies to build your real estate portfolio. You're going to learn how to increase your income, budget your money. You're going to learn how, it's, when I tell you the amount of trainings that I have coming up, that I currently have in there, that I have coming up every month, and I made it as cheap. I don't want to say cheap, because as cost effective, I'll say, as possible, because I wanted to give something to bring value to you. One of the things about making things this cheap, though, in all honesty, is that when you have things low, people don't think it's valuable. And I know this for a fact, because I have some things that I charge thousands and thousands of dollars for. And the people who do the $10,000 coaching programs and things that I do, they are very, very serious about what it is that they're learning from me. And they take it and they absorb it and they soar from it. When you have something that's a lower price, people don't tend to take it serious, and they don't tend to apply, because they don't see the value in things that are. So it's that dichotomy for me of having something that I know is really valuable, but to make it very inexpensive for you, because then I know people don't be seeing value of things. But I have this available for you, thousands of dollars. Currently, there's $7,500 in training, and by the end of the year, there's going to be over $20,000 in trainings that you're going to be able to get for $47 per month, or $97 if you're in the VIP. And oh, by the way, for all the people, if you're a member right now, and tons of people are signing up, if you're a member right now, next week we're going to do our VIP Q&A session. So you should have gotten an email today, I believe, or yesterday, sent out today or yesterday, for the VIP Q&A session. That's going to be next week for the Grow Your Money Club. And this is up close and personal. Now, this is a pick Constance's brain session. And typically my coaching calls, I think, are about $1,000 an hour that I charge when I'm coaching people. So this is basically your opportunity to, pick my brain and coach with me for $97. Again, I try to make this as a no-brainer for you, so that I can get as many people in, so I can help as many people, because I want to impact as many people, because I want to change and effectuate as many people's lives as I can. So I have it at this inaugural price. It's not going to be this way for long, but the goal is to try to get as many people inside the program, so I can help as many people. And then the price is going to go up. That's just what it is. So you have the Grow Your Money Club. So if you have not joined, please join. Go to growyourmoney.club. And so thank you so much, Prominent Mills. You said, what's the difference between the $47 and the $97 class? So the $47, you're just getting the training, which is great, because you're getting tons and tons and tons of training. It's going to be nonstop training. With the $97 ones, it's the VIP. So you'll be in a private membership group. You'll get the Q&As. You'll get access to some of the master classes that we do. So we're going to do some master classes in addition to the trainings that are on there. And then any in-person things that I do. I have some in-person things coming up. You're going to get 50% off of the in-person events that we do. And we got some stuff lined up that are going to be off the chain that we are planning right now. So those are the perks. If you go to the website, growyourmoney.club, you'll see the difference between the two different memberships. But honestly, I think 95% of the people who have joined the gym club, the Grow Your Money Club, have joined as VIP. So, either way, both of them are great. Totally up to you. I feel blessed. I've been following you for a while, and I appreciate you and all your wisdom and knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you. Thank you. It's good to see that people appreciate it, because I come on here and you don't know if you're actually impacting people or not. And so that's, if you've been following me for a while, then that's what it is that I'm doing, and that's what it's about for me. So sometimes I'm gonna tell you this. I'm put you up on a little secret. This is not my most favorite thing to do. People be like, Constance, you be going live all the time. You on live all the time. I do this. It's hard for me to get up and do this. When I was actually doing this from my office, my assistant Glenda would have to talk to me for an hour and be like, okay, Constance, you got to go live. You said you're going to go live every Tuesday. And so then I'm like, oh, no, I don't do that. So this right here, I'm actually truly, and you're not going to believe this, I'm truly an introvert. So if you meet me in person, like if you meet me at like out dancing, I love dance. So I'm going to be dancing. But socially, like people be thinking, I'm very friendly, but people think, okay, I thought she was going to be a little bit more outgoing and boisterous, and that's just not me. So it's not my most favorite thing to do. I do this because I really, really want to impact people. I love speaking. I love teaching. But just getting on here all the time is not my most favorite thing to do, in all transparency. But I do enjoy it. And so getting that feedback from you, Empress, is really, really appreciated. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's up? Love education. I have a query topic, marketing management subject. How can I solve my query? DM me. So you're watching me from YouTube, but make sure you're following me on Instagram at I am Constance Carter. You see it right here. On Facebook at I am Constance Carter. Send me a DM. Let's talk. Let's chat. And anybody who, if you have anything a question that you need answered, I'm happy to answer. So DM me and I am here. But again, for me, this is all about, closing the wealth gap and helping our people. And I want to let you know that the Net 7 Collective cohort is getting ready to come up again. And I am excited. So we have our next cohort coming up in February. And just so you can see what it is that we do, let me just share one of the things that one of the...
It has been a privilege and an honor to be part of this cohort. Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses. We have strategically taken the time each week to come together to understand how to build a business, how to brand a business, how to use real estate, how to use life insurance. We have bonus days where there are speakers who come and they share their stories and their goals and their successes. We have an accountability coach that I have learned to realize that she really is like a best friend to me. It has been an amazing journey. I have grown so much. Now all my fears are now my strengths.
I absolutely love that. She said, my fears are now my strengths. So if you are interested in being a part of this cohort, if the Net 7 Collective is actually, I created something that I needed, but it's just been beyond my wildest dreams, having a group of women from all over the country, a group of Black women. And this is for Black women. Grow Your Money Club is for everybody. It's for men, women, boys, girls, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever. The Net 7 Collective is specifically for Black women who just want to live life on their own terms. This is more one-on-one, personal, intensive coaching. Right now, so we just finished cohort 2 right now. And the reason why I postponed cohort 3 is because I'm doing my one-on-one strategy session. So we go through this 12 weeks of a lot of learning, a lot of sharing, a lot of growing. So it's the learning, but it's also the transformation, because I could teach you how to build wealth, but I want to show you how to keep it. So it's the mindset and the transformational piece too. It's a lot of personal development along with professional development. So at the end, we do our one-on-one strategy sessions, is when I go through step by step I sit down with the woman and I say, okay, based upon your strengths, what you learned, your skill set, what your goals, what your passions are, what is it that you want to do? And let's give you the blueprint of how to get you there. And so I'm providing a step-by-step blueprint that I give to them that says, okay, these are your marching orders. So after everything that we've learned, everything that you've been through, based on your strengths, and I get all up in your business with your finances and everything, okay, this is how we're going to move forward. And so yesterday, I was talking to one of the ladies, and I adore these ladies, and I adore this particular lady. And, it's just great just getting people out of their small thinking mindset. And so just, seeing the light bulb flashing. And then it's like, okay, I go from being a solopreneur. Now I have my sight set on having a whole enterprise that I could scale. It's kind of like that hairdresser who's behind the chair. I don't want to just be behind the chair the whole time. I want to get from behind a chair, and I want to create a business model or a system to where now I have people and systems that are working for me that's generating revenue. If you look at the cash flow quadrant, we all go from an employer, right? So you have an employer, and then you have a self-employed person. Now, those are two very different people. Your employee, you're a person who work a 9 to 5. Typically, you have a limitation of the amount of money that you can make. The amount of money is set by somebody. And then you have somebody who's a self-employed person. Now, the self-employed person, you have to work for your money also. There's no limits on the amount of money you make, but the effort that you put in is going to be the effort that you get back. I was a self-employed person as a real estate agent. If you're a hairdresser, you're a self-employed person. If you're a lawyer and you work for a law firm or a doctor, you're self-employed. But you want to get to a place where you are a business owner, or you own a process that's giving you business. So it could be you as a solopreneur. You could have a business where people are working for you. So when I became a real estate broker and I had 100 agents that were working for me, they were working and I didn't have to work. I had to just manage while they worked, and then I was making money that way, right? And so you want to get to that place, or you want to have a system. Maybe you want to be a solo person and you have a system that's generating revenue for you. And then ultimately, you want to get to where you're an investor, where your money, which we talked about today with the stock and having your money in your portfolio diversified. You want to get to a place where not your money is just making money and you don't even got to work. You chilling. That's the ultimate goal, and that's the ultimate thing that I want to have for you. And so that's what we do in the Net 7 Collective. Is we got to change the mindset. We got to change the way you think. We got to change the concepts that you've been learned, that's been inbred in you. And we got to give you the skill set and the tools. And then you have this environment where you have these women who are all thinking the same thing, but they're all, they're cheering each other on. They're motivating one another. They're helping one another. It's a collective and a collaboration. And my superpower is not that I'm the smartest tool in the shed. Like I already said, I'm not that. My superpower is I know how to empower people to inspire each other. So there are people in there who have greater skills than I do. I know how to empower that person so that she could be utilized inside the group so that they can all help each other. And that's the most beautiful thing, is that they're all helping each other. They're all motivating each other. It's dope. Let me just share one more with you, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But I just want to give you a little bit more. This is our very last session for cohort 3. And the ladies were just kind of sharing what their experiences were inside the cohort. Watch this.
For about the past, 3 or 4 years, I've been praying for a business coach. Like, I never had a coach. I knew that a coach, I read many times that all the most successful people have a coach. Coaches have coaches. And I wanted a coach that would help me understand money and business and entrepreneurship. That I know people always tell me, oh, you know a lot of things and you do a lot of things, but nobody was taking me by the hand and say, this is important with your credit, and this is how you get stuff off your credit, and this is how you establish business credit, and this is how you build your brand. And here's a bunch of people that look just like we do that are doing all these different things. And take a look at these. Maybe you want to do something of them, maybe you don't. But every single person that we were exposed to showed us something different and made us see yet another possibility. The fact that we have been exposed to just folks that are just banging, that are like really doing it, like no shit, they really, really doing it. And it's just been such an eye opener, like mind blown every time we got on. And then just getting to meet all of you women was such a bonus, because here again, I'm seeing all these faces on the screen and everybody is doing amazing things. Whether you are where you want to be or not, when we get on and we listen and people talk and share, I think, well, damn, that's what she's doing. That's what she's about. And that's what she knows. I'm just like mind blown yet again. Every single time. I'm telling you, I would move heaven and earth not to miss one of these sessions. I know they're recorded, but it's just something about being in the room where it happens, and being here live and being able to participate and interact. It's just been such a wonderful thing. And Constance, you definitely under-promised and over-delivered. Yeah. And I know you want us to talk about the rest of us, but you're the one who thought of this. You're the one who went out on a limb yourself and put this together and brought all of us together. And I am just so grateful. This has just been an amazing experience for me, to the point where I can't even explain it to people. I'm very methodical and very process oriented. I don't mind making a risk, but it's going to be a calculated risk.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Shout out to Vanessa Nicholson. She's one of the ladies. That was actually Judy Coleman, but this is Vanessa. I see you on my YouTube, baby. That's who I was just talking about. I was just talking about you. I was talking about you, Vanessa. But that might be why you shouted me out. But that's the Net 7 Collective, and it just makes me so proud to see these ladies just soar. I'm just extremely proud of them. And so if you know a woman, so right now I had to postpone the third cohort again so I could do these. You heard? Well, who told you, Vanessa? Who told you? I didn't mention your name, no. But I had to, because I'm doing these one-on-ones, strategy sessions, which are so rich and so intensive. And so that's where my focus is on for this month of January. And then we start back up with cohort 3 in February after my birthday. And oh, by the way, after I get back from the Maxwell cruise, because I'm going on this Maxwell cruise for lovers and couples by myself in February. So if you're going, come on out and come hang with me, because your girl gonna be out there solo by herself. Look at that. 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 Vanessa's in action. We did our strategy session. She said, I got my Acorns, Robinhood, and approved for a business credit card after our call. She in action. She got that business set up. If I may, Vanessa is a business owner, but she was a sole proprietor. So we got her entity set up. She got it funded. She has business credit. And so she had a bunch of money sitting somewhere that wasn't doing nothing. And so now, she's putting it in things that's generated compounded interest. But that's what she's doing. So other people are, some of the ladies out in the cohort, they are creating courses. They're doing real estate. They're motivational speaking. They're life coaching. Like they're starting podcasts. I mean, all kind of stuff that's coming outside of the cohort. So, again, it's just so rewarding, just me being able to sit on the front row and watch how these women's lives just transform. Completely amazing. Fills me up completely. So if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, go to bookwithconstance.com. And that's it. That's all I got. If you're just logging on, make sure you watch this, because I'm dropping some gems on stock investment and how to get it started and how to really create your portfolio to generate so that you can have long-term investing so that we can get this wealth gap closed, you guys. Okay. So take care. God bless. I appreciate you. I love you for real in real life. I really, really do.